All right, the market's back in a channel, and we're also having a pivotal level approaching in the coming days. We have some key data tomorrow with the FOMC meeting minutes, so we want to watch out for that at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In this video, I want to go over some key levels to watch for the SPY, QQQ, and IWM indices, and also some key levels for your top tech stocks. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dr. B. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you want to check out the other videos, please go through the Rolodex here on the channel. There's an educational playlist as well for you. And if you'd like to join our community where we live trade, leverage university, and also there's some mentorship that you can attain if you need more one-on-one attention. All that being said, let's jump into today's video and information. So we're going to jump straight onto the charts today because I already talked about the fundamentals and the reasoning why the market got a little bit of a fear index from last night into this morning. And a lot of people may have woken up, if you didn't watch that video yesterday, about the elevated yields. I want you to pay attention today on the charts. So on SPY, we have some key levels. We talked about this rising wedge here, and a couple of things can happen to where we can reach some levels. So what I mean by a pivotal level, I'm gonna go ahead and get it out of the way here. I want you to look on the weekly chart, and the weekly chart tells us obviously a trend direction, which we're still trending upwards, but in the short term, we did break underneath that previous week low. Okay, so I want you to mark that on your charts if you have them up. If you don't, just write it down. That's right at 679.17. Okay, so that level more specifically is the previous week low wick that we really wanted to stay above to show that bulls could retrace back to the highs. Okay, that's the first indication of a trend directional shift. All right, the second indication is we have our futures market, okay? Futures market on ES. That is the S&P 500 futures, all right? If you don't know too much about those, if I have any beginners on here, don't worry about that too much, but it gives us indication where the market might want to go, all right? In the futures market, you can see here there were the big psychological level approaching a round even number of 7,700. The chart is the same as SPY roughly. So if I go back to SPY, I did mark off where 7,700 would roughly be. That'd be right around 765 and some change. Okay. So when I come into my daily chart, that's a level that we could see potentially kind of hold up, or if that level breaks, then we're most likely going to start coming down into this 760 and ultimately 758. Okay, we may overshoot it a little bit if selling gets aggressive down into 755. All right, so these are some levels that I'm watching for in the coming days if we do continue. So tomorrow, I want you to watch 765, and also I want you to pay attention back above 770. Okay, right in here is going to be a pivotal range of what we do for the remainder of the week. Here's a drawing scenario for those that like visuals. If I see a candle start pushing underneath here, and ideally on maybe a 15 or an hourly candle, if I start seeing that happen and we close that candle or we gap underneath it in the morning, I'm looking for ideally continuation. Okay. And we won't get any relief until we free fall back down into 760 and 758. All right. So that's one scenario. Another scenario is Trump comes in, saves the day, or the FOMC meeting minutes get a little bit of a boost for whatever reason. Maybe there's a deal done in the after hours, so on and so forth. We got to pay attention to that. This would be my best case scenario to short the market lower, because I do believe we have a lot lower to go into September. Ideally, I would want this relief bounce, right? We come into here, everyone gets short, and we relief bounce and we start squeezing up back to the highs. Okay. Now, can you trade call options back up to the highs if we get that? Yes. But what I wouldn't try to do necessarily is try to time the bottom when we've broken trend, right? So maybe you're trying to look for, okay, maybe I'll buy some calls in the morning. If you're really sniper-esque, meaning you can get very, very precise entries and you see momentum and order flow going back up, then maybe you can try that. But as you can see today, if you tried that, rejection, rejection lower, rejection lower, rejection lower, right? There's really no buyers. We're just trending downward here like that. Okay. Here's the type of move that I would look for if we get some type of big volume candle back up. I would look for something like this to start working. Okay. Something like that. And that's when ideally we start get higher lows and we start squeezing up through that gap. And ideally that's when I'll be looking for call options above 770. Okay. Call options above 770 to go back up and retest this gap fill 773 and then ultimately maybe 775. Okay. Now, when it gets back up there, or if it does that, I'd be looking to short with put options back up at these highs. Because if we can do this, then ideally this would be some type of head and shoulders to go lower. If you're not familiar with that pattern, it is a bearish pattern. We have a left shoulder, we have a peak or a head, and then we start to form somewhat of a right shoulder. In that case, it would be, as we call, a lower high. All right. So these are all patterns. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the chart, but just want to give you that heads up of what it might look like in the coming days. Because when we get a directional shift that quick, right, people start pouring into puts or choose the direction too quick, and the volatility gets very, very rangy and wide, and you might be on the wrong side of the trade. So you want to be patient. You want to trust your levels and say, where is the best risk to reward? Do I want to enter puts down here at support, or do I want to enter puts up here? All right. If I enter puts down here, I need to see it break underneath 765 and then target that 760. All right. There is SPY for you. QQQ, okay, didn't really get a bid for buyers at all here either, but we are sitting right at previous week low. All right. So that level is pretty clean, pretty clear. That 715.71, you can see right there. You can see right here. And then ultimately, if we get below that area, we can do a little bit of a flush right down into these lower targets, which would be 712. Okay. So QQQ a little bit closer to support, and it would look something like this. If we sit here, maybe we push a little bit lower, and then buyers step in, and maybe we get a little bit of a rip back up like that. Okay. And the confirmational QQQ will be getting back above today's open, which would be 720, and ultimately back above that 722. All right. That will be the confirmation to start pushing up back towards these highs and maybe getting a squeeze like that. All right. But if we can't get that, I would say below 720, it's just going to start trickling down. But I'll be very careful in these supports down here. All right. We're approaching a big key moving average there, daily 20 moving average sitting right at 713. And this could form a little bit of a support. Break, retest, support there. Okay. So I don't think the selling's done, but if we get a relief, then don't be surprised that the relief comes in. Trump saves the day, something happens, and then we start continuing, in my opinion. If we can get a lower high, we continue down into September. All right. IWM, beautiful break here of trend on IWM. I love that 303 level and ultimately that 300 level. Previous week low right there at 298.99, just say 299. So we'll be watching that previous week low. If that holds, then we could get some relief bounce off of IWM back to the upside. So I would definitely watch that 299, 300 as a support. If that starts to break underneath there, then you can look for shorts lower. Okay. And that's where it gets a little bit dangerous as far as maybe some bears step back in aggressively. All right. Don't get too one-sided too quick, but I do like this break of trend and also this profit taking going on. Let's look at the VIX. Our volatility index showcases when fear starts injecting into the market. I've talked about this before. Every time we get down into this $13 to $14 range, okay, what happens to the VIX? Fear ensues. So here is going into the beginning of the year. We started to get a little bit of profit taking and fear and fear and fear and fear. And then we went into March with some fear, right? So this is starting to happen again. You start seeing it build off 14 and build and build and build and build. And then we go right into September with that fear coming right back in. That's when the market falls. So the VIX When it spikes, the market falls. All right. A couple more things because I want to leave you here. I'm trying to get these videos short and sweet to you. All right. Apple has become that safe haven. Okay. So if the market falls, I do believe looking at Apple potentially, if it can get above that 312, okay, Apple continuing higher potentially into this gap. Every time the market starts falling, Apple is kind of that safe haven. They're coming out with the new iPhones and flip phones and foldable phones and MacBooks. So it could be a little bit of a buy here for Apple to retrace back to some of this gap fill. I would say 316 would be our target. And then breaking above there, we got some momentum on Apple back to the upside. So I would definitely watch Apple today, tomorrow and for the remainder of the week to see how it closes out. NVIDIA, just gonna be watching that 220. What does it do at 220? NVIDIA needs to get back above 222. Ultimately, is sitting below that 220. That starts to fade. We got previous week low that might step in, which is 216. Okay, if that breaks, a little bit dangerous. NVIDIA earnings next week. If that breaks for some weird reason, then we got some trouble coming in on NVIDIA back down into 212 and then lower 200s. Okay. Let's jump into. Here's what I would start looking at, and I'll end with this because I typically try to go into all these different scenarios, but that's what the community is for. So I wanted to highlight some key ones, some top setups that you may trade. Apple, NVIDIA, there's many others that you may trade, but I would look at SPXS, okay? I think the biggest thing when fear starts to come into the market for many people and you have a long-term portfolio or you have something that you want to protect and you're like, I don't want to trade against the market. What can I buy for safety? Okay. SPXS is the short version of the S&P 500. So in short, when the market falls, this goes up. Okay. So every time we had some fear in the market, right here, here's the beginning of 2026 and went from 32 to 44. Okay. Here is last year when we had the tariffs, it went from 52 to 102. All right. So whenever there's fear in the market that's coming and you're like, I don't want to sell any of my positions, but I want to protect my accounts and then buy the dip, you can't and make some money. You can maybe look at buying some SPXS shares, right? For those that are comfortable with options, you could look at these on the option side, maybe some long dated call options on SPXS, maybe January 15th to protect into the end of the year. If you want to look at some 24, 25 calls into January of next year. All right. So just a little bit of a quote unquote hack, not financial advice there, but that is a hedge, as we call it, against the fall that is inevitable that's coming. All right. The pullback that's coming, the correctional move that's coming, and you may want to protect some portfolio assets there. All right. Thank you all so much. If you do have any questions or you'd like to see any educational videos from me here on the channel, right, I'm working on our course suite. Our course suite has been in the works this entirety of the year. We've had an amazing influx of new individuals coming into Leverage University, where we live trade, educate a lot of mentees and students that I've coached and educated throughout this year and over the years. So shout out to all of you. Thank you so much for entrusting me to teach you and to educate you through this skill set. But until next time, thank you all so much. Click the links down below to support the channel, and shout out really quick to our amazing community members that we took trades this week. We've been green all week trading the downside for puts. And also I did catch those Apple calls today for 100%. And that's the first position trimmed at roughly 33% and then left some runners in for 100% on that Apple trade. Okay. Shout out to Sherry for some put options. Shout out to Jay for really trading Netflix well. All right, getting her feet wet, and then I scalped some QQQ puts and NVIDIA puts end of day. So beautiful green inside of our community. Awesome job, everybody. Thank y'all so much. I look forward to seeing many of y'all here in the coming months. So there's a trial link down below. We'll see you inside. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.